Naming and writing chemical formula by Group 4 from 12 integrity. Type 1 binary ionic compound, calcium fluoride. First, what is a type 1 binary ionic compound? A type 1 binary ionic compound is a compound consisting of two different elements, one which is a metal that can form one type of ion and one is a nonmetal. Type 1 binary ionic compounds can be formed through metals from groups 1 and 2 that is bonded to a nonmetal. If we take a look at this example, calcium fluoride is a type 1 binary ionic compound. Why? Because we have a metal and we have a nonmetal. We only have two different elements here, calcium and fluorine. One is a metal and one is a nonmetal. Specifically, this metal, calcium, comes from group 2. In this example, we are asked to write the correct formula for calcium fluoride. Calcium comes from group 2 on the periodic table, therefore, its oxidation state is positive 2. And then we have fluoride here whose oxidation state is negative 1. An ionic compound is neutral, which means its overall charge is 0. Therefore, the sum of the charges of the ions should be equal to 0. But in this example, the charges do not add up to 0. Since calcium has a charge of positive 2 and fluoride has a charge of negative 1, to make this equal to 0, we need to have a second fluoride to make its charge negative 2. When that happens, the total charge here would be equal to 0. The chemical formula would be CaF2. Two fluorides are represented by the subscript. This is the correct formula for calcium fluoride.
Copper fluoride. To write the formula for copper 2 fluoride, we first write the element symbol, so we have copper, that's Cu, and then fluoride F. Because we have a metal and a non-metal, so we need to think about ionic charge. For the copper, it is already indicated, which means the charge will be plus 2. And for the fluoride, it is in group 17 in periodic table. That's always minus 1. Since F has negative 1, we need one more to make it balance. So the formula for copper 2 fluoride is CuF2.
Type 3 binary compounds. They are composed of two nonmetal elements bonded together. In naming type 3 binary compounds, you have to put the first nonmetal and the prefix that indicates the number of atoms in the molecule, followed by the second nonmetal and the prefix that indicates the number of atoms in the molecule, followed by the suffix "ide". Here are the list of prefixes. Example, diphosphorus monosulfide. If you look at it, we can see that phosphorus and sulfur are nonmetals. So, we can say that this is a type 3 binary compound. We can see here that the subscript 2 of the phosphorus is converted into prefix di, and even if sulfur have no indicated subscript, this still means 1. So, it is converted into prefix mono with suffix "ide". There are rules in naming type 3 binary compounds. 1. Do not write prefix mono if the first element is only 1. And 2. If you are gonna use prefixes that ends with A and O, that will be followed by oxide, it is a must to remove this letter.
Ternary ionic compounds. In this given, we know that the compound is ternary ionic because we have a polyatomic ion, which is ammonium, and a nonmetal, which is fluoride. According to the table, NH4 is the symbol of ammonium with a positive 1 charge, and fluoride or fluorine has a symbol of F with a negative 1 charge. The next step is balancing the charge. In this case, the charges are already balanced because NH4 has a positive 1 charge and F has a negative 1 charge. So we just have to write NH4F. NH4F has 3 elements, which is N, H, and F. So we know that it is a ternary ionic compound. NH4 is the polyatomic ion and F is the nonmetal. The name of NH4 is ammonium and F has a name of fluorine. Since we know that fluorine is the nonmetal, we have to change its last letters to IDE, giving us a name of ammonium chloride. Acids. Nitric acid. According to the table, acid became nitric because it has an ATE at the end. So we change nitric to nitrate. Then we find its symbol, which according to the table is NO3. Then add H because it is an acid. HNO3. NO3 according to the table has a name nitrate. And according to the table, if the element has an ATE at the end, we get its root and add IC at the end. So change nitrate to nitric and then add acid